that it exists at the same time, but it's separate from each other in some sense. Like, what do you guys think about it?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, action. Now that I have set you apart in a different space and I have a feeling of excluding you, so let me add you in now. Extending Pierre Bourdieu's reach on pseudo or let's say cultural capital, I think Max Horkheimer and the other theorist, Theodore Adorno. Both of them, I think in Dialectic of Enlightenment, that's where they talk about cultural capital. But it's again a very different take on that. It's about let's say coercing the general mass to get into, let's say, a filing line where you don't know you're being coerced, but you would already be a part of it. I think I can give you examples of that. But before that, in a proper sense and in definition, it's much more like, let's say, you wouldn't even know that you're a part of a community, and you would have already given into it. So even before knowing, I think that's where Star Wars as a franchise or Harry Potter as a franchise would contribute way too much.
So you are becoming a sheep without even knowing it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. See, somebody who is watching Star Wars might definitely like a character like Luke Skywalker, or let's say Darth Vader, which has been the very well-known character throughout Star Wars.
I'm familiar with the names.
Yes, but that's why I'm trying to include you into the conversation, because if you start watching a movie and if you get well versed with the franchise, I think you also start looking for merch. At least in my sense, when I'm watching something, let's say it's a series, Game of Thrones, which is very recent for me, Star Wars, which I have been watching for a while, even now, whenever I check through outfit stores, I'd be checking for merch that has Star Wars on it. I'd be checking. I still have a keychain which costed me some 600 rupees.
Okay,
it's Star Wars Darth Vader, and it's Lego as well. So I've already become a part of that franchise. I not just watch the movie, I don't just appreciate the movie. I'm not just very well versed with the very opening where it drags along an entire story of what had already happened. That I'm talking about because it's very iconic of Star Wars to do that with their opening song and all of that. But I'm not just a part of that community. I'm also a part of a community which pays extra money to show that I'm a very ardent fan of Star Wars. I dress in black because I appreciate Darth Vader. I buy his merch because I appreciate Darth Vader, and also because I appreciate Star Wars.
I mean, I have seen your T-shirts with the Game of Thrones,
House of the Dragon
symbols, and House of the Dragon symbols. Yes, I have also seen many. I think it's quite common in many South Indian,
very much,
or Indian culture,
very much,
or maybe in the global level. The vehicle stickers,
with
the film dialogues, the stars.
Like
in Kerala, especially, it will be Mohanlal or Mammootty.
In Tamil Nadu, it would be
Rajinikanth,
especially Rajinikanth and Andava. I mean, Andava as in Kamal Haasan. Yeah, it's the craze for the heroes. Like they buy the sticker, they adore the sticker. It's like if something happens to the sticker, they are like, oh my goodness, how can I let it happen? And it's just like that.
And I think even if they know they are becoming a part of this sheep, this horde of sheep, they will still be.
You know what? I want to put myself out there as somebody who's appreciating all of this. So I become a particular part of a community, very much different than, let's say, a fan that watches Harry Potter. Because I might totally not be into, let's say, fantasy, magic, and fiction and all of that. But I am on a very different side, being part of, let's say, non-fiction, fiction, or science fiction, to be very particular. I think that's how it rolls.
There's also this cultural capital thing. If I'm not wrong, it's also another way of commodifying things, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, the way how films are released on particular days, like let's say during Independence Day or Republic Day, there will be a certain film being released. And since we are talking about re-releasing films, the Malayalam film Prema. I told you it got re-released recently. It was released during the Valentine's Day week. And it's a film about romance. The title Premam itself in Malayalam it means love. It means love. So it got re-released in such a time where the love was in the air.
Oh, okay.
So it got released in.
So I believe that's February 14.
Yeah, February 13, if I'm not wrong. But yeah, it was very close to that week.
Makes sense.
And another thing about that film is that Nivin Pauly, he took a break, like a very long break for some time. And people were waiting, his fans were waiting for him to come back in this old form.
Okay.
Like, I'm not sure whether it was health related or industry problems, I'm not sure. The film industry itself is sometimes very political.
Very problematic.
Very problematic. So his fans are waiting for him to come back in his old form. Like, I'm saying old form because the Nivin Pauly in, let's say, Premam, the original release that time Premam, or his famous films like Bangalore Days. I'm not sure whether you're familiar with Bangalore Days.
About it.
Bangalore Days, Tattathin Marayathu. Tattathin Marayathu is a cult classic romance Kerala Malayali film.
Makes sense.
The songs in that film is very famous. So Nivin Pauly in those films are very different from the Nivin Pauly that we see today. Okay, the difference mainly comes from how his entire physique is changed right now, and the way he acts is also dependent on his physique. And Premam being re-released was in a way a prelude to him coming back to his old genre. Like, he is a very comedic actor. He smashes his acting style with that genre, and I think before he took the break, he did some serious roles. And the film was good, the story was good, but the acting was not that. I mean, people were used to seeing him in a certain way, but then he suddenly, I think he thought, okay, I might just try a different style and see how it goes.
I think he's still trying. If I'm not wrong, he's doing the villain role in Ben's movie.
Ben's
the Lokesh Kangaraj's LCU.
Yes.
It's again a
He's
serious role.
Yes, it's a serious role. But yeah, there were many videos or interviews given by his co-actors like Aju Varghese. Aju Varghese is someone who came to the film industry, Malayalam film industry, along with Nivin Pauly. So Aju Varghese was giving this interview. Vineet Srinivasan, the famous singer and actor, Vineet Srinivasan, he was also giving these interviews where they say Nivin Pauly is on his journey back to his old form, back to his old style. He'll be back for his fans, his audience, he'll be back. And Premam, the re-release of Premam was a prelude to such an interviews. Like, it was prophesying, kind of sealing the fact that, okay, he's coming back. And it being a romantic film, it being released during the Valentine's week, I feel is kind of like commodifying. His fans are crazy about that film, in a sense. As I said, the kind of hype it had among the Kerala youth during that time, the original release time, and being released during a Valentine's Day week, it was a kind of commodifying. There are such films which had like very bad reviews or bad acceptance in the populace that are coming back through this, and there is that element of nostalgia that Boyle talked about over there. The reflection is there, the old and young generation coming together is there, but there is that element that we are talking about, the capitalization that works behind that, the ease of making a profit in that, the merch that gets sold over that.
I think in that case, we can zoom out a bit from our geographical center as India and look at the international grounds where Indian films are raging right now. I think we have a Japanese fan of Rajnikant.
Yashoda Hidetoshi.
Hidetoshi. Yes.
Okay.
So Hidetoshi, I think there's a video on YouTube by Vice India, and they filmed this entire
journey
about
becoming a Rajni fan.
So I think
so he started his own club in
Japan.
Japan Rajnikant fan club.
Oh, in Japan.
In Japan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, he drives an auto in Japan, which looks very Indian.
Like Basha Rajnikant.
Basha Rajnikant.
Okay.
He wears the exact outfit, that khaki overcoat with
the
yellow kerchief, twirled and over here. I think that's something not just about the commodity of it. I think it's more than commodity and nostalgia, I think it's something, let's say, of a cultural emotion that's spreading around, and a cultural blend as well. See, Japanese Indian cultural blend is what I'd say about that, because his entire room is now filled with different sorts of posters of Rajini movies, Annamalai, Padayappa, Bhasha.
Every old film to new film.
Yeah.
And adding to what Rosu said, it does not stop with Hirotoshi. It continues. There is a huge fan base for Muthu film. Rajnikant's Muthu film.
Okay. I think that was African. Somewhere in the African continent, if I'm not wrong.
No, it's I mean, again, it's in Japan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's in Japan. The craze for I don't know. Probably there might be a fan club in Africa. I don't know.
Okay.
But there is a craze for this Muthu film, and they have commoditized products in the name, in the same name, like Muthu. If I'm not wrong, it's a fabric conditioner.
Oh,
Muthu. I'm not sure.
I mean,
is that a beer or a fabric conditioner? I'm very unsure, but I have seen it.
Okay.
So yeah, as you said, it's a culture migration. To the
absolutely.
I mean, I'm able to understand a diasporic Indian cultural bubble over there, but this guy is completely Japanese.
He's very Japanese. Very Japanese. He's a
very Indianized is what I use. I use.
I mean, how did he come across the
I think Vice India.
It's from Muthu again.
Okay.
The phrase started from Muthu again.
Okay.
And he started to watch all his movies, and he became a huge fan of.
So Vice India covers the backstory as once he was a kiosk worker, while his work was done for the day. I think he sits with his friends to watch some older movies, and one of the movie cassettes that he picked up was a Tamil movie. The question here would be, how did a Tamil cassette, let's say a Tamil movie's cassette, translated goes there?
Yeah,
is what I'm asking.
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
How? I think Vice India covers all of that, and if we're looking into that, I think the Western culture seeping into India is nothing very different. But why I said that commoditization and nostalgia apart, it's sheerly emotional, let's say a cultural sense of emotion that is there, is because he even learned Tamil. I think there is the famous dialogue of
Nuru Sonna
Madri.
He said that.
He says it.
Yeah.
He says it. And I think there is even this dialogue where he says, Kanna panningadan kuttama.
He said
that.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's something very lovely. You see, it's not just the commodification of it. It's not just the sense of nostalgia. For him, it's not nostalgia. For him, he's seeing it for the first time, and then it's his journey of becoming a fan of it. So that's culture seeping into it. It's oozing there.
Tell me, he met Rajnikant.
Yes,
After all
He did.
Yes, he did.
He came to India. He met Rajnikant.
Nice.
He went for FDFS as well. I don't know which movie it is. He came to India just for the release of the movie.
Okay.
And he came here along with all the Rajini fans. He went there for an FDFS movie.
Yes.
Nice. I mean, it's very difficult. I mean, as you said, the Western film culture coming to India
It's very general.
I mean, after colonization and stuff. It is not normal, but it can be understandable. But Tamil film going to Japanese.
This would be a bit of a deviant from what are we talking about. Not very much of a deviant, but I think what I'm going to explain right now, or what I'm going to use as an example, would purely explain or etch the meaning of pseudo-individualism and commodification of, let's say, people watching a movie, and let's say even commodifying the very aspect of pseudo-individualism. So I've never seen this happen in India, but let's take Americas for our very best example. I wouldn't say the West, because not the entire West does it, as I've known, but in Americas, almost in every state. This is a very general thing. I think the recent movie from Jurassic Park, which was Dominion, if I'm not wrong, was out. Or even, let's say, any movie that has a huge franchise. Again, Star Wars, Harry Potter, Avatar, of course.
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings. Yes. No, absolutely. Lord of the Rings. See, any movie which has a huge franchise, We wouldn't include any series here because they're not screened in theaters, as of what I know. But the movies, which have a huge franchise, even Jaws, for that matter, the 1, 2, and 3, the older movies, all of them, whenever they're, let's say, re-released or released for the first time, the theaters have this thing. So when you get popcorn, you can either get it in a small bucket, you can get it in a medium bucket, you can get it in a large bucket. And all three of these divisions are going to cost you different prices, which definitely are going to be pricey as anything. I'm not getting at that because it's a very general thing. I'm getting at the popcorn buckets idea itself. You see, popcorn is something you cannot differentiate. What these movie industries, or let's say the franchise, do is design a popcorn bucket that's very much
similar to
yeah. Let's say it becomes an artifact of this thing. Like
a collectible.
Okay. Like a collectible. Let me explain that. So Dominion's popcorn bucket was very specific, and it also is very exclusive. It is available in the store only when the movie is on in the theater. So it was like this. It's like a huge cuboid with a partition where you can have your drink and the popcorn. And when you have a drink, inside of that is a floating dinosaur goodie.
Oh.
Yeah. So now that's a commodity, and they've priced it at some $200 if I'm not wrong. Which sorry, not $200. It should be $20 or $25, which roughly converts into 2.5k in India. 3,000 to 2,500. You see the commodification of it? Yes.
For a bucket.
For a popcorn bucket, which becomes an artifact later on.
Okay.
And now, given that popcorn is something you cannot almost separate from a movie watching experience in theater, it's like a combination of all of that. So it's like maximizing the emotion that a person has towards a movie. And if you buy that popcorn bucket, not only would you be a part of a community that would say that I am a very ardent fan of the movie, it could also differentiate the very class that you belong to.
It's kind of like a symbol of status.
Yes.
Okay.
Not everybody is going to buy that. Similarly, for every different movie they had it. For Jaws, they had a shark popcorn bucket where if you put your hand inside, it opens its jaws.
Oh.
Yeah. So every different movie had its own thing about it.
I mean, I have never seen this level of marketing in India. Like, at least in Kerala or Karnataka, I have never seen.
I haven't. I've been there.
It will be soon.
Yeah.
We might.
Yes.
We might. Yeah.
I think it is already seeping in because there was a point when McDonald's was bringing up its Happy Meal in India, and back when Shivaji was released, the Rajni movie Shivaji was released. I think this is just a personal experience because what I'm going to say about McDonald's and Shivaji has no connections. But when it was in theaters, I watched the movie with my father, and after having watched it, we went to McDonald's.
Okay.
And there, when I bought a Happy Meal, they were selling Madagascar's goodie. So the movie Madagascar. So the movie's goodies were being sold with the Happy Meal. And one of the many movies that was being screened in those theaters was Madagascar, because I think it was also, it might have been a re-release or it might have been the first release of it, I'm not sure about that. But I think it's not just the movie industries that contribute to it, there are also other industries. The fast food industry, which like McDonald's or Subway, have their own way of putting things in. So it's like maximize as much as possible of commoditization.
Yeah. I mean, for going to the level of putting a price on already pricey things.
Yeah.
I mean, I hesitate whenever I go to a theater, like right now, whenever I go to a theater, I only watch the film. I don't even buy the popcorn. I don't even dare to buy the popcorn. I don't even think about it.
Matter of fact, I tried it getting myself, but
the
popcorn bucket.
Okay, the popcorn.
Yeah, but given that they make it exclusive, plus the import tax and all of that, it's almost impossible for you to get it here. The original price of it is unless and until we are very rich.
Imported.
Yes. If you have to get it in India, you will have to import it.
Okay.
Yeah. And another very different sort of commodification is this: selling the movie script as a book. We have Oppenheimer as that. We have Godfather's script being sold at a very high price. I think those books are sold for some 5 to 6k in Indian currency. Oppenheimer's script was priced at somewhere for 1.5 or 2. Godfather's script is still on the internet being sold at Amazon I think it's priced at some 3 to 4.
Limited prints?
No, it's not limited. You can have it as much as you want to. Yeah.
Nice.
I think it seems everywhere, commodification.
Is it just me, or I'm seeing on these things, even the minute level of commodification in the Western films?
Yeah, almost everything is. Have you guys ever bought something after having watched the movie? Let's say a merch of the movie.
Yeah.
Seems to happen. Yeah. It's almost every one of us.
After watching the movie, I badly wanted a T-shirt, but very late. I mean, very later, as in like somewhere around 2023, 2024, only the merch got released, if I'm not wrong, by this so-called film.
Okay.
And actually, this idea of selling merches, it's a westernized idea.
Yeah.
It's a westernized idea. It's not stick to I mean, the ideas of the movie is from our industry, the Bollywood industry or the Mollywood. But the idea itself, to make a merch out of it, it's a westernized concept or a westernized idea.
I mean, it's kind of weird how Western theories itself explain the kind of thing that happens in Indian culture.
But I think it itself becomes a microcosmic culture, or because the people buying a merch and then forming a community out of that. If you guys are familiar with Funko Pop, the bobblehead figures, let alone the figures that are out there as standalone figures. Let's say I'm not going to include the figures that come out of cartoons and animes, but I'm definitely going to include the figures that are out there from the movies. And the series that are out there. We have ample amount of Funko figures of Game of Thrones, ample amount of Funko figures of the series Friends.
Even I remember the series of Funko Pop of Kamal Hassan.
See,
it was sold somewhere around 600 to 600. I don't know if it is an official one, but I remember it. But of this Vikram movie.
Okay.
So it's like that.
I mean, another thing that I came across while reading about this is we talked about how Western culture is, in a sense, from what we talked till now, Western film industry and its culture is kind of in a one step ahead kind of thing. Whether it's in commodification or cashing out on the nostalgia element, and Indian film culture or Indian film industry. Culture is still there, the fandom is there, the hype is there. The film industry has shown some lag in that. And it's in the sense that we talked about film re-releasing, and we talked about how it's a profitable thing. It's the marketing is already done, the shooting is already done, and all that needs to be done is process the film and release it. Okay, but the one main thing that is needed for the film release is the film itself. Okay, and we can see many Western films after 50 or 60 years of maybe even more than 50 or 60 years of its release being re-released. The films are preserved over there, but in here we are not able to preserve films the film reels even after a few decades, like 10-20 years, we are not able to preserve it. And only recently, after this trend of film releasing, did we start to practically look into the market value. And even that is the first thing that comes to mind is market value. The market value of preserving such an artifact. And the films like Padayappa is an artifact. Films like Devadudan or Spadigam for that in Malayalam is an artifact. And there are many good movies that we love. We might have only seen it in small screens. We love those films, but we are not able to see it in big screens again. Never again. Because the films are lost. There are incidents like the processing labs being destroyed and thus the films are lost forever. Such kinds of incidents are practically recurring, repeating again and again in news. And even though I'm not talking about lives being in danger, it's a part of our culture that's being endangered over here. And even Pierre Bourdieu himself talks about how the films, like he's talking about culture and cultural industry,
Yeah.
but the films that should have been preserved is also a part of our culture.
Yes.
It's also a fragment of the past.
Yeah.
And talking about past, Boeing herself talks about reflective nostalgia. And the cultural atmosphere of, let's say, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, of our parents' generation, of the first few years of our life is completely different from our teenage years. It's completely different from post-COVID.
Yeah.
Pre-COVID and post-COVID is completely different.
Yes.
The culture is different, the economy is different, the people,
The
their
behavior
mindset
of
is
the kids is different.
behavior. It's all different.
We were different actually.
We were very different.
And our parents will say the same dialogue. We were different at that time.
There's also the culture of long dramatic dialogues that are lost now.
Yeah.
The current film culture is basically direct, very short. I mean, it is trying to be realistic, but the kind of emotion that's there for, the kind of suspense that's there for the dramatic long speeches, long dialogues, whether it's the hero or the villain who's giving, that is different, and that is also part of our culture.
Yeah.
We are, at least me personally, I'm used to thinking villain giving a long speech is never good for his life. Give a long speech, you are dead. Yeah. But we are able to joke about that because we have experienced films like that. We have experienced such scenes happening, and we have at least picturized ourselves being a hero or a villain and doing such things, giving a long speech.
Absolutely.
But currently it's not there. And for the current generation to experience what the old generation have been through, or what the old culture was, how the old peak artists were acted through their career, and the films being destroyed or ruined or not preserved properly, it's a very sad thing. And there's also the thing about many old actors are no more, whether it's in Tamil industry, Malayalam industry especially. We have lost many good actors like Kalaban Mani is no more.
Oh my goodness, yes.
He's been there in many South Indian films.
I know.
Tamil Nadu,
For
Kannada.
your reference, Joseph, he's the guy who acted in. There is this Kamal Hassan movie. No, we really have talked about it.
I'll show you this picture.
Okay.
So
I forgot there is this beautiful. Vayayan Kotikara.
Oh,
the constable character.
Pavanasam.
Yeah, the constable.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember the police guy?
No.
Okay.
I've watched Pavanasam some 8 years ago.
So Kalaban Mani is a
Very good actor.
very versatile. Very
Yeah.
versatile. He can do comedy like no other. He can do serious roles. He can be a hero. He can be a very cruel villain. And he can be a comedic villain.
Yeah,
he can be
talking about his comic.
Yeah.
Man, I love his acting.
He acted with Vikram. Vikram in one film. Chiyan Vikram
Chiyan
in one
Vikram,
film as a
movie.
comedic villain.
Yeah, Gemini.
Yeah.
Oh.
And Vikram acted as a blind guy in one film.
Yeah.
Similarly, Kalaban Mani also acted as a blind in one Malayalam film. So Kalaban Mani is such a good actor. We have Nedumudi Venu, who is also another good actor, and there are many other such actors that who are no more in this world.
Same goes with Tamil industry as well. Like we lost Manivandan. Manivandan, you might not know Manivandan. He is a very good actor, old actor, and Vivek, for instance.
Yeah. I mean, I felt very sad about it.
Same goes with I don't know. Mailvadu or Mailvanan? I don't know. There is one more guy with Vivek, the short, like bulky guy. And he is no more. And same goes with Manobala. And their films, it should be preserved. Like, at least for the future actors to get reference, how to act.
Yeah. I mean, it's one thing that black and white films or mute films are not aesthetic in a sense, or for the current generation they might not be interested in such films, the black and white films and so on. But the actors who have been there after the colors came to the screen, the actors who in a sense, for the Malayalam film industry, these are one of the few of the actors who created a framework for the Malayalam film industry. They kept a bar, high enough bar. And many of the actors came even before Mohanlal and Mammootty. Because they have been in industry before that. And they have created a structure, they have created a framework, they have created a standard for the industry, and they left. They are no more. And being not able to watch them act, they might not be idols as such like Rajinikanth or Mohanlal Mammootty, but they were the teachers. In a sense, they are the gurus of so and so actors. And not being able to watch them again is a very sad thing. And nostalgia should be there, but being not able to reminisce, being only able to reminisce in the minds and not able to see them again in the screens is a very sad thing. Yeah, so we had a good discussion about the film re-releasing. We talked about many people, we talked about many films, we talked about many theories, and we talked about the film industry itself, how it's influencing the fans, the audience, and how we ourselves as the audience are influencing the industry. We are creating the demand, we are creating the reviews and comments, and we are creating the industry itself in a sense.
Absolutely.
We had a great discussion, and I think it's time to wind it up.
Yeah, sure.
We'll leave it for the audience who are watching us to further the discussion, and I hope they give us some comments or reviews on how we did, or do they have any views of their own. I know, right? So this is a discussion that can be taken a bit forward as well, and we'll wind it up as it is. Thank you guys for watching this video, this podcast.